All right, what's up, guys? Derek here from Slab Sharks, aka Mr. Enchanted. Welcome to another episode of the Lorcana Lounge. This week, we got our buddy G, who's happy enough to join us in the Lorcana Lounge, and we're
What's
going
up,
to
everyone?
talk a little bit about the Lorcana scene, decks, maybe a little bit of Vegas, and I'm super excited to have you here, bro. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm happy to be in the Lorcana Lounge.
It's our new name for
Yeah,
the
new name.
episode.
I like it. It sounds good. It keeps it casual. It's nice. Get some more information. This is exactly what I wanted from the start, from our first podcast episode. I was like, I want to learn about Lorcana. So
Yeah,
teach
here
me,
we are.
Sensei.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on. So recently, in the past couple episodes, I've been talking a little bit about card values in Canadian dollars. My bad.
Oh yeah, for everyone, just for everyone who's not understanding, we are based in Canada, so these values that he's given out, they're in Canadian dollars. We'll find a way to incorporate the USD in the future, but yeah, that's the reason why you guys thought he was overinflating his prices because you're thinking USD, but
Oh,
he was spot on with his values. So
But anyway, so today we wanted to talk a little bit about maybe the league scene if you are a beginner or a newcomer to a Lorcana. This is one of the things that I love. Is just the local leagues or the weekly leagues that we have. It's set up in a way where it's very user friendly, very beginner friendly. You can bring a starter deck. You can pay like $5 to enter. You get some promo cards. You get a pack. And then maybe if you do well, you get some of this special promo stuff that we have over here. We got a pin and some other things that we can show on camera.
wait, before we get to that though, because I am excited to know about that. But can you just imagine I came up to you and I was like, hey, I want to start this Lorcana thing. I have no experience. I don't know what I'm doing. I just love the game and I want to get started in this league stuff. What would you tell me to do? How would you guide me? Where do I go? What is this league nights? Just like a total beginner like me who wants to get into it. What would you say?
So the first thing is to just buy a starter deck.
Okay.
Right, that's the first, because you need a 60 card deck to play the game. So you buy one of those, maybe like 10, we'll say $10-15 Canadian. Not quite sure the starter decks in US. That's probably like 9 US maybe. But then look for a local card shop in your neighborhood, in your city, in your town. Find, usually if they have Yu-Gi-Oh or Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, they'll have one day designated for Lorcana, and then you'll have Lorcana League. So just find a place where you can go, just pick up a starter deck, and then you're good to go.
And like I just show up there and they would just guide me like how to do this. Like I guess obviously I'd have to kind of look up how to play the game beforehand, but I mean, you can just show up there. I don't have to like book anything ahead of time. I just go on the day that they're playing Lorcana, sign up and play.
Yeah, so this exact scenario happened to me last Sunday. So I went to my local league to go play, and there was a guy there who just started. Like it was his first time ever playing, first time at a shop. He showed up at the time we were going to play, and he bought a starter deck right there.
Okay. Yeah.
And first round, he matched up with me.
Okay.
And it was perfect. Like he just was opening his deck, trying to figure things out. And this is what's great about Lorcana, is that the community is very helpful. So a lot of the fellow Lorcana players were not like stuck up or arrogant. We're always trying to help newcomers, play the game, or help show them how to use their deck or show them what the rules are like. So stuff like that.
Okay.
And a lot of players are very helpful. And so you can just show up and ask for help, and most people will show you the rules and how to play the game.
Okay, that's great to know. So basically anybody can do this. That's what I was scared of. If I wanted to go play Lorcana, I felt like, I got to look it up beforehand and see everything. But if I have questions and stuff, it's nice to know community is going to be there to help out.
Yeah, and the other thing too, it's the learning curve for Lorcana, I feel like is not that steep. So say, for example, a game like Magic the Gathering that's been out for decades, the learning curve, it's pretty tough. There's so many cards, there's so many rules, there's so many different things going on. But Lorcana is, in my opinion, a lot simpler version of Magic with a lot of the same mechanics. So the game plays sort of the same way, but it's a lot easier to understand. It's you take a turn, you play your characters, you sing your songs. Then it's my turn. I play my characters, I sing the songs. There's no like crazy interactions going on. I'm countering what you're doing. There's none of that. It's just turn. We each take a turn at playing our characters, singing our songs, and try to get 20 points, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, cool. That's very helpful. Thank you.
So come on and play, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Come
Actually,
on
you know
and
what? I
play.
might come with you the next Lorcana night. Not tonight. I know you're going again today, but I actually might come. That sounds like a lot of fun, and I have like less anxiety now, knowing that I can just show up and be a total noob, and I won't just be like not helped at all, even if you're not there. Right? It's good to know. But if you do win at the league night, which is what we get to earlier, now let's
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
this.
We
What
got
what did you
some
have to show
goodies.
us?
We got some goodies. So these are examples of some of the prizes that you'll get by going to the weekly Lorcana League. These are promo cards. So you can see in the bottom right here, this little symbol. That's usually the rarity of the card. So this is a promo, and all the promos are foil. So every week, if you just show up and play, you instantly get one of these, and you also get a booster pack.
Oh,
So,
booster pack,
yep, you
just
get a
for
boost,
showing up.
Yep, just for showing up. Usually you get a booster pack. Some
Okay.
places they'll do like a higher buy-in. They'll do more of a tournament style. So just like the top seeds will get a booster pack.
Mhm.
But if it's just weekly Lorcana League, everyone usually gets a pack, and everyone usually gets one of these promo cards.
Oh, nice.
But if you do well as the weeks go by, they'll let you pick some of the newer ones. So say, for example, in my weekly Lorcana League, I think I finished second. So I was able to pick this Chicha. But again, it's a foil card, promo logo. And that was pretty cool. And then I also got one of these pins. Oh man, the glare. You get these interesting Lorcana pins. They had a Merlin elephant, I think, or a Sisu or a Elsa. There's like a bunch you can pick. I picked this Hades. And also they gave you one of these lore trackers. So use this to track lore, like score in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a wheel, starts at 0. And whenever your character's quest, you can just spin the wheel to
Just
keep
to
track of
indicate,
your points.
keep track. Okay.
Yeah, and it's first to 20 points wins the game. That's
Okay, cool.
basically what it is.
And can you use those promo cards in your deck?
Yep, 100%. So this Chicha, for example, there is an identical card to this, word for word, picture for picture, ability is identical, but just the rarity symbol is different.
It's a promo and it's a foil.
Yeah, promo and a foil. So this
Okay.
Chicha, I can't remember if it's an uncommon or an uncommon. It's a fairly common card. It comes in foil and non-foil as well, but it's essentially the exact same card.
Okay.
So you can use it.
So you can use it. All right. So if you're a baller, you just have a deck full of these promo cards.
Well, there are some ballers. I've seen some ballers with promo foil cards in their deck. They've had enchanted cards in their deck. They've had D23 promo cards in their deck. It gets pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's super cool though.
That's cool.
So same thing goes with like the Nala as well. Same thing.
Same thing.
Play the Nala.
Okay,
if you want
so
to use it in your deck. Yeah.
Okay. And these promo cards, I don't know how much you know about them, but do they have like every card in like a promo, or is there just very specific ones for each set that are just the promo ones?
So as of right now, I believe it's every week there's a certain number that get released. So for example, if this Nala came out like next week, you might get another Nala. So you'll get a lot of the same promos over and over if you go every single week like I do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do that, you'll be first to get the new ones like this Chicha, for example, right?
Okay.
This just came out last week.
Okay.
So if I keep going, I'm probably going to get a couple more of these Chichas, right?
Okay.
But then you can put 4 of them in your deck. Maybe you can give some to your friends. Maybe you can sell them. You know, if you're a buyer of promo cards, right? You can maybe buy some of these. So.
Yeah, that's cool. So there possibly in the future is the opportunity to build like a deck full of promo cards.
Oh, 100%. I know players that have like decks with promo cards in there.
That's cool.
And especially if they're shiny. People in Lorcana love shiny things. The shiny object syndrome or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So I don't have that. See, this is my deck. It's all non-foil stuff.
The practical player.
Oh, yeah. I'm lame, bro.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. But speaking of my deck, so I also brought a couple cards here. I don't know if you want to check them out. So these are cards. So also when you play Lorcana, you need to buy sleeves. So this is the sleeves that I use on my deck, and you have to use opaque sleeves. So you can't get transparent sleeves where you can where it's see-through and you can see the back. The reason for that is this protects us from marked cards and cheaters in the game. So when you play Lorcana, you have to get opaque sleeves where you can't see through. And it also protects the cards as well, so which is nice.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So you have them all organized right now by different colors. You want to a complete noob, explain what the different colors? That one I know the names of some of them. That one's amber, correct?
Yep. Amber.
Okay.
Yellow is amber. I also have an emerald card here, and then we also have steel. So in Lorcana, there's 6 colors. There's also ruby, there's sapphire, there's amethyst, red, blue, and purple. In your deck, you pick 2 colors.
Mhm.
So I am primarily an amber, emerald, or steel player, meaning I'll play 2 of these 3. So right now, today, I'm playing emerald and steel. So this is like the color combination I would have in my deck. But essentially, these are the type of cards that are really good in the game, but also are worth some money. So say, for example, this card here, it's a Diablo card. In the top right corner is a cost, so he costs 3 to play. He has 2 attack, 2 health, and this little symbol is how he quests. So he quests for 1, and that's if he quests for 1, you gain
Gain
1
one
point
point on the wheel. Okay.
Yeah. So cards like this, this Diablo, it doesn't seem that impressive. It's a legendary, right? It's not shiny, but this card in the game is amazing. It's literally the best emerald card right now.
Okay.
It's so strong. I had to buy mine for, I'd say, $40 Canadian
Each?
each.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I spent 160 Canadian. So that's
Yeah.
like what, 120-ish US.
Yeah, about
110-ish.
Well, I guess around there somewhere. Yeah, 110.
Yeah. So this is what I mean about Lorcana. There's some cards, it doesn't look very impressive, right? It's not flashy, but in the game, it's so good. So for players like myself, it adds value to the card because you want to run it in your deck. And not only do you want 1, you want to have 4 copies.
Okay.
Because that's a rule. You can run 4 copies.
You can run 4 copies of each card. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a Diablo.
Yeah.
Here's
This
an
is
Ursula.
Ursula.
This one is funny because this is only an uncommon.
Okay. But
So-
it's
still amazing.
okay.
So it's not just legendaries, super rares. It's the uncommon and common cards are also really good as well. So like this card, it lets you see your opponent's hand.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
I'll play Ursula.
Yeah.
You have to show me your hand.
yeah.
If you have any songs in your hand, like say for example, you have Let the Storm Rage On,
Yeah.
you have to discard it.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, that's kind of lore. That's kind of lore accurate as well, because you know how Ursula steals Ariel's voice.
Oh yeah, see exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so it's very thematic.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. Like even has like a title, say you'll never even miss it. That's like what the ability is called.
Okay.
And so there's also that. There's other things too. Here's a perfect example, Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
So Ariel, when you play her, she has an ability where you look at the top 4 cards of your deck. If you have a song, you can put it into your hand.
Okay. So
Right.
the opposite of the Ursula, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Ariel also has an ability, she's called a singer. So basically in Lorcana, you'll have characters and songs, right? So here's like a song, for example. This is Let the Storm Rage On.
Yeah. Let the storm rage on.
Right. And in the top corner, it costs 3 to play.
Okay.
So normally you'd have to use 3 of your resources to play.
Mm-hmm.
But in Lorcana, the theme is you can use your characters to sing songs. So Ariel, for example, can sing this song for free. So instead of paying 3, you can just use Ariel and sing it for free.
Okay.
Right. So this is sort of like how characters and songs work.
Then work together.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very, very thematic. And
Yeah.
I love it because it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Like there's a card that you play with Ariel called Under the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's from The Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it basically takes like, almost all of your opponent's cards on the board and puts it into the bottom of their deck. It's an
Okay.
incredibly powerful card.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things like that.
Okay.
And then to wrap it up, we have the steel cards. This is our boy Pete. This is another good example. Uncommon card. Probably think it's garbage.
Like, your mic. I can't hear you when you're leaning over
Oh,
there.
sorry.
Yeah. No, that's all right.
But yeah, Pete, uncommon card. One of the strongest cards in the game right now. This is probably like a 50-cent card, like maybe $1. And all he basically does is when you play him, your opponent, they can't play any songs the next turn.
Okay.
So it's very like oppressive, this card, and it's an amazing card in the game. And opposite to that, you have a Robin Hood, who is a legendary,
Yeah.
one of the strongest steel cards, and also one of the most expensive.
Okay.
This card is probably like $45 Canadian, I want to say.
Okay.
I think I spent like $200 getting my playset of 4.
Wow. Yeah.
Again, just seems like a normal Robin Hood card, but so strong in the game that it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah, and I guess the rarity helps because, like, for example, that Pete's strong, but it's an uncommon, so a lot of people have it. The value's still not going up like crazy. But because it's a legendary, on top of that, it's a strong card. That's why that and the Diablo are both very expensive, I'm guessing, the Robin Hood. And the
Yes,
Diablo,
exactly. Also, just like when you open packs, I think you had a Rapunzel,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Rapunzel is one of the best amber cards in the game,
Okay.
but she's also a legendary,
Yeah.
right? So she's I think I spent 240 Canadian for 4 Rapunzels.
Oh man,
Yeah, Rapunzel's it's very expensive.
the best card in the game, you think right now?
Best card in the game is hard to say. I think
Best.
you
Okay.
could say best card per color, maybe,
Okay.
right? Because there's a lot of cards that are just really, really strong, but there's also a lot of cards that aren't very good at all. Like this, for example, the Nala, the promo. You know, it looks cool,
Mhm.
but this card has 0 attack. It can't attack anything.
Yeah.
It just has 4 health,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have any special abilities.
Okay.
So if you play Nala, she just kind of sits there.
Yeah.
So in Lorcana, there's a lot of cards that also aren't
Okay. Okay.
good at all.
That makes sense. Okay. So you can't. So you're saying it's hard to determine which one is the best card in the game.
Yes. Well, there was one card that was the best card in the game, in my opinion, and it was like an uncommon card.
The
It's a
squirrel?
Bucky.
Bucky the squirrel. Yeah. Yeah.
But it got errated.
Yeah.
And it's banned.
Yeah. It's banned because it was too strong.
Yeah, it's just way too. It was just way too strong.
Yeah.
And so, for the game, for the integrity of the actual game,
Mhm.
we had to get rid of the Bucky somehow.
Mhm.
I don't think they would have to errata it. They completely changed the text. They
Mhm.
completely nerfed the card. In my opinion, if you just tweaked it a little bit,
Mhm.
then make it still playable, but not as strong, then okay. But now it's completely unplayable.
Oh,
You
I
can't even
see.
play the Bucky.
Oh,
It's
okay,
useless. It's just a useless
now.
card.
Okay.
They went from like the best card in the game to just throw it in the forest fire, campfire,
Campfire. Forest fire.
forest fire, campfire, kindling, yeah.
kindling. Yeah. Oh, hopefully it's not kindling for a forest fire.
But like that card, you'll never see in the DLC. The Nala, you'll never see in the DLC. Like
I see. Okay.
Like this weekend is
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Mhm. And unfortunately, I'm not going.
Well, you're still on the waiting list. You're still on the waiting list, right? There's a chance still you could get they could notify you today.
So the tournament starts on Saturday. So as of right now, today's Thursday.
Yeah.
So there's still another day. If there's like a last minute spot that opens up,
Mhm.
I would have to just, I don't know, get on a flight, book some random hotel and just book it there right away.
I mean, there's a lot of hotels in Vegas, so I don't think that'd be hard.
Yeah,
to
that'd
find.
be that's true. The flight is, I
The
guess,
flight
a little
would
bit
be
more
expensive.
concerning. Yeah. Yeah.
But it would be a cool chance
I
to
know.
go practice. You're running. You said today you're running the Amber Steel.
So today I'm running Emerald and Steel.
Emerald Steel.
Yeah, Emerald
Okay.
and Steel. That's the combination I'm running. So these guys. So we're going with the Diablo, the Robin Hood,
And the
the
Ursula,
and the Pete.
Is this a kind of deck that is like a common deck that people are running in the meta right now, or is this something you've completely put together yourself?
So before, Emerald and Steel was at the top of the
Mhm.
meta.
Okay.
Bucky was a big part of that.
Okay.
'Cause
Bucky
he was
was
an
Emerald. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So he got nerfed. So Emerald Steel has sort of fallen off, and it's no longer a top 3 meta deck.
Okay.
So right now, the best decks are blue and red and purple, and yellow and steel.
Okay.
So those are, like, for example, this Naveen, Ariel.
Yeah. The amber ones and the steels.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
probably
yeah.
the
Yeah,
most
I'm
popular
familiar.
deck
Okay.
right now.
Okay. This is the most popular deck.
Yeah. And so the deck that I'm running today, it is not that common, but I built it in a way that where it counters the top 3 decks. So that's my strategy going into today. Usually the way that I play Lorcana is that I try to figure out what are my opponents playing and figuring out what can I do to disrupt their strategy or style of play.
Mhm.
And it's kind of, you call it making a counter to the meta deck.
Mhm.
Also, by doing that, when I play my deck and I play my cards, they'll be like, "What are you playing?"
Yeah, oh
What
yeah,
is that?
It's confusion,
Right?
That's right. Yeah, it's harder
then-
for them to be on their toes. They're more on their toes.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. But then
Yeah.
if I see you playing red cards and blue cards, okay, red and blue. All right, you have red Sisu, you have blue Tamatoa. I know exactly what cards are already in your deck,
Oh, I see.
right? So,
Okay.
but even though their deck is inherently stronger than mine,
Mhm.
just having the ability to surprise them or use these counter cards, it's strategy,
Yeah,
right? And that's what I love. That's what I love about Lorcana.
it's the riskier play, but it's the more nuanced play.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Because then someone could come around with a deck that's not one of the top 3 decks, and now your deck is built to play those, and they might not even have a good deck. It might be way worse than yours, but
Mhm.
it somehow counters your deck perfectly.
Yeah, that
Right?
happens a lot too.
That does happen too. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
Sure.
I've had so many losses at Lorcana League where I wouldn't say new player, but just some random person will show up. They might have a starter deck. They'll add some bizarro cards in, and I have no idea how it works.
Okay.
And for half the match, I'm like, what does that do?
Yeah.
You have taffy-ta, mutton fudge, and a race car. I'm like, what
Oh,
does
yeah.
she do? And she's like driving around. I'm like, I have
Okay,
no
okay,
idea what some of
okay.
these cards do.
Yeah.
Because you think that they're not good, but then
Yeah.
someone plays them against you. You're like, oh, wow. And it kind of catches you off guard.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That must be tough though, because you're playing right now because you're training for basically your Seattle
Yes,
tournament,
yeah.
right? And in that tournament, you're gonna find people. There's a lot of people there. So there's gonna be decks of all different kinds.
Mhm.
You're gonna be coming across some people that are, as you mentioned it the other day, the one where they just try to quickly beat you or something. What was it? What did you call it?
Yeah, it's called hyper aggro.
Hyper aggro.
Yeah, yeah.
And those are the people that are just trying to make it, just get a few quick wins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to have a deck that's built to combat that and combat the top.
Yeah,
decks
top
as well.
meta decks. Yeah.
Top meta decks.
So the hyper aggro deck is amber and amethyst, so yellow and purple.
Mhm.
And basically, all it does is it plays a bunch of really cheap characters that you can play on turn 1 or
Mhm.
turn 2. And like the quest in the bottom corner, they quest for a lot,
Okay.
but they're really weak. So all you're trying to do is flood your board with all these weak characters. You're not even trying to attack anything.
Mhm.
You're just ignoring your opponent. And
I
all you're
see.
doing is playing, questing.
Yeah.
You're just trying to get to 20.
I see. Okay.
And you can get to 20 by turn 4 sometimes.
Oh, wow.
And the game is done in like 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay.
And so a lot of top players dislike these hyper aggro decks because they're very simple to play, or we call it piloting.
Okay.
Like when you play a deck, you're piloting a deck.
Yeah.
And so you don't need a lot of strategy. If your strategy is just play characters down, quest, and you're just trying to win in 5 minutes, it's
Yeah.
very simple.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of deep thinking and strategy that you need to think about, right?
Mhm.
But a lot of the top players will think about that, and they'll play cards that will counter that. So say, for example, like this Robin Hood, right?
Mhm.
So this Robin Hood, as soon as you get him out, he completely counters all those aggro decks. Because he has 6 health and he attacks for 3.
Mhm.
And he can just kill like 5 of these.
These weak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So some players like myself, if I see someone playing hyper aggro, I'll try to get Robin Hood out and he just destroys everything.
Okay.
Right? So there's ways you can build your deck in order to counter what other people are playing.
Mhm.
But those hyper aggro decks rarely win tournaments.
No, they just get a few
Yes.
wins in there,
Mhm.
get you maybe on to the next day, and then it's hard to maintain that, right?
Mhm.
Because it's easy to defeat once you know you're going against a aggro deck if you're prepared for it.
Yes,
basically.
exactly.
Okay.
Because the way it works, because this is what I'm thinking about in Seattle. So in Seattle, when you play round 1, everyone is 0-0, and you play rounds of Swiss. And Swiss is you play someone that has the same record as you, right? So the first round, you can play anyone.
Mm-hmm.
You can play a top player, you can play a brand new player, you can play some dude that just came off the street and bought a starter deck. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
And so in the beginning, there's a lot more variance in the type of decks and random chaos you have to deal with. But as the tournament goes on, if you go 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, go to round 6, 7, 8, then all the top meta decks usually reach those rounds. And you don't really see those crazy, wacky, bizarre, hyper aggro decks because they'll
Okay.
fall off.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
But because there's that variance at the beginning, you have to prepare for it.
I see. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because you got to make it to that point.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Huh.
imagine you play round 1, you face a hyper aggro deck, they beat you down in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
you're 0-1, now you go to the second round. Well, if you lose again, then you're cooked,
yeah,
right?
You're cooked.
Yeah, so you got to prepare for a lot of things.
Okay. All right. So there's a lot of strategy and planning that goes into this this preparation for your Seattle trip. It's exciting, man. That's something that I'm excited to hear all about it.
Mhm.
It's gonna be fun. When is that? When is Seattle again? Remind me.
So Seattle is October 24th. It's next month.
Okay.
I believe it's the 23rd, 24th. It's near the end of October, and it's going to be. I'm going there on a Thursday to register on Friday, and then the tournament is Saturday, Sunday. Well,
Okay.
hopefully, the
Hopefully.
plan is we make it to Sunday.
Make it to Sunday.
That's
we
the
got
plan.
faith in you. Everybody's got faith in Mr. Enchanted, so we all, everybody's got your back, except for those people that didn't realize we were talking Canadian dollars.
No, whoops, my bad.
My bad. But they're on our side now because they know why the prices were low inflated. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the other thing too is these big tournaments, what we call the DLC, the Disney Lorcana Challenge, is most of them have 1,024 players. And when I say make day 2, they cut from 1,000 players down to 64. So you're playing 9 rounds. You're playing like 10 hours of Lorcana on a
Mhm.
Saturday,
Mhm.
and you want to make the top 64, and that is very, very tough because you're going from 1,000 to 64.
Yeah, it's
So you're cutting 940 players, right?
It's like 90% is cut. It's top 10% almost, right?
Yeah. So the main thing that I've noticed is that you gotta win at least 5 of your rounds, and hopefully you don't lose any, and you can maybe draw 4. So
Mhm.
if you go 5-0-4, so 5 wins, 0 losses, 4 draws, then you have a good shot to make the top 64. But even then, I know people that went 5-0-4 in the last tournament in Toronto, and they missed the top 64 cut. So it's tough.
It's tough.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's tough. Yeah.
Oh well, you got a little bit of work ahead of you then, just to keep training this up. So is this? I don't know if this is gonna like be a spoiler or if you don't want to talk about it, but this Emerald Steel deck that you're running right now,
Mhm.
is that something you're planning to be the deck that you take to Seattle, or do you not want to talk about that right now? I don't know.
So
I don't know
I'll
how
say
intense this
like
is.
this. No, it's fine. If I was going to Vegas
Yeah.
in 2 days, I'd probably bring this deck.
Okay.
So I probably would play it because I feel like that surprise factor is a lot more beneficial for me in terms of the way that I like to play, the way that I like to build my deck. But when we talk about Seattle, it's going to be completely different because once Las Vegas is finished, you get to see everyone's deck. You get to see the deck list. They get posted publicly.
Yeah. Okay. So
right?
the meta changes.
So then the meta shifts
Yeah,
because
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
will be like, "Oh my gosh, red blue won everything."
Yeah.
So everyone's gonna start countering red blue.
I see. Okay.
So then by the time we get to October and we
Mhm.
get to Seattle, what I'm gonna be playing is gonna be probably completely different.
I see. Okay, so it's no harm in explaining it right now because this stuff to me, it's not like you're giving away your game plan per se for
Yeah.
Seattle. Okay.
Well, my game plan right now is pretty simple. It's a really simple game plan. It's basically built around 2 uncommon cards.
The Pete and the Ursula.
So the Ursula,
Okay.
right? Cost 2. You play her on turn 2.
Yeah.
Show me your hand.
Yeah.
If you have any of these songs,
Yeah. Discard.
you discard it.
Yeah.
The strongest deck right now is Emerald and Steel, and they play tons of songs, right?
Okay.
So I'm looking at your hand. You discard. I'm ruining all these songs you have.
Okay.
And eventually, we have Pete.
Just get your microphone up again.
I'm sorry. Eventually, when you have Pete and you play Pete, then the next turn you can't play any songs.
Oh, so you're song blocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'll play 4 Petes and 4 Ursulas.
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
looking at your hand. I'm ripping out your songs. When I don't have Ursula, play Pete. You can't play any songs.
Okay.
So it's very disruptive for the best deck
Okay.
right now.
Okay.
So right now, Amber and Steel, this deck with a bunch of songs, it's very, very popular because the song cards are strong.
Okay.
If you look at them, like they're very simple, they're easy to understand. Like this one right here, Let the Storm Rage On,
Okay.
says deal 2 damage to a character and draw a card. So super simple.
Yeah.
So let's say if I have a Diablo,
Mm-hmm.
right? You just play Let the Storm Rage On, does 2 damage to Diablo. He has 2 health,
He's gone.
so he's done,
Yeah.
and you draw a card.
Oh, okay.
This
Yeah,
is-
that's just a solid card.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's amazing.
When you play a song, do you discard it right after?
Yes.
Okay.
And the other thing too is you could play this, so it costs 3 to play,
Mhm.
or because if you're Amber,
You got Ariel.
you can use Ariel. You
Yeah.
can sing it, and she can sing this for free.
Okay.
And then you can still play something else that costs 3.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Oh,
So it's-
yeah. Okay. So I see how
That's how it works.
that's how it'd be strong then to have that
Yeah.
the Pete and the Ursula to get rid of all these songs. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So that's my strategy
Interesting,
going into
interesting.
today.
You got me more excited. I'm definitely gonna come by once. I wanna just play around for fun once. Just in worst case scenario, walk out with a free, not a free, but a
No, you
pack.
get a pack.
A pack, right?
$6, $5, $6.
Yeah,
You
$5,
get to play,
$6.
get a pack.
Yeah.
You
It's
know.
like it's the same price as the pack, but now I get to play some luck on it. At the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
Time. Yeah.
And then you also get one of these
Promo cards. Yeah. I'll just borrow one of your extra decks too, so I don't even have to buy.
Yeah,
stuff,
bro.
because-
I'll give you a starter deck, bro.
You got so many anyways.
So that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Well, good luck in Seattle, man. Well, we'll definitely talk. Well, I mean, you'll talk again at least. I don't know if I'm going to be here at every Lorcana Lounge, but it was nice to get to hear the inside scoop on some of these things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, appreciate you
it, yeah.
stopping by, bro.
Yeah,
It's
of
not
course.
just me rambling on, but definitely expect more episodes coming from us at Slap Sharks when it comes to the Lorcana Lounge.
Mhm.
I'll keep you guys posted on prices, hopefully in US next time, meta reports, deck lists, and what's going on in the whole DLC or Disney Lorcana Challenge world.
Yeah, and I'm curious to hear your take on like a deeper dive into the new set that's coming out. What your thoughts are on each card specifically, and what you like or dislike about it. I'm curious to hear about that because I know that this one might be a polarizing one a little bit for some people, right?
So far, I don't like it.
That's a little preview. Okay, I'm excited for that video.
Throw
now.
it away. That sucks.
That's awesome.
All right,
I'm
bro.
going to take this second quickly to plug the podcast too. We are still doing some episodes of the podcast. We got some cool stuff coming up. I know the Slab Sharks Van City contest is concluded now. And we're going to have some cool stuff related to that. So just stay tuned for that as well. And thanks for having me on the Lorcana Lounge.
Yeah, thanks for coming, bro.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Peace.